Hello, my name is Anne, and my cheating almost destroyed my dream to become a doctor. Since I was little, I wanted to be a doctor, and my parents support me with that dream. And who wouldn't? Of course, in order to become a doctor, you have to study a lot. In fact, you have to study more than any other kid, especially with natural science subjects. Since I was a kid, I studied more than anyone else, and my parents tried to support me with paying different tutors or buying me different books, which I needed to advance further. And then there's a question of grades. In order to get into a good college, you have to have good grades. And I've been a straight-A student all of my life. Of course, teachers love me because I'm school's prize student, the one who is an example to all others. I especially like Miss Garcia, my biology teacher, because she genuinely cares about me and supports me all the way through school. But it became harder when I turned 15. There were so many assignments and tests, and not all of them in my future area of work. And I had to spend all of my evenings studying until it was dark. Sometimes I even fell asleep at my desk. I was always exhausted. But I couldn't sacrifice my perfect A+ record. All of my friends were going out and having fun, and I was always studying, and even during weekends. I wanted some time off from studying, but I needed to prepare for an important test. So I decided to make a cheat sheet. Just once. And I still would study for it, but not as thoroughly as I usually did. This way I also could go and hang out with my friends and not worry too much. So I decided to put my cheat sheet under my tights. This way I could always look at my cheat sheet without raising too much suspicion. So the next day I used my genius method of cheating. And it was terrifying because I had never cheated before. I was so nervous my palms were sweating. But it completely paid off the next day because I got to study less but still got an A. This made me think that maybe there's no harm in occasional cheating. So I started doing it a little bit more often, always using the same method, a cheat sheet under my tights. Now I wasn't falling asleep at my desk, and more importantly, I got to spend more time with my friends, who may as well have forgotten what I looked like because they had seen me so rarely before I started to cheat. Soon, I was cheating on almost every test. Yes, I was studying for each one, but my cheat sheet was more like a reminder because it was impossible to hold everything in my head. At that time, I wasn't even worried about teachers noticing my cheat sheet because they didn't even think an A+ student like me would cheat. Life was good and so easy during that time. All until Miss Garcia called me in her office one day. I got in there and I wasn't even scared because there couldn't be anything bad Miss Garcia could tell me. It wasn't possible. The biggest surprise was that Miss Garcia wasn't kind and friendly as usual, but she was more strict and disappointed. She asked me to sit down and told me that we needed to have a talk. She told me that she would no longer tolerate me cheating so openly during her tests. Other teachers may do as they please, but she was against it, especially because her subject was biology, and it's an important subject for future doctors. I tried to explain to Miss Garcia that I needed it in order to get A's, but she simply said no. So, during the next biology test, I used my usual cheat sheet. Only I was more careful with it so she wouldn't notice, but she did. So she came to me in front of the entire class, took my test, and said that I got an F for cheating and I could fix it after class. I was so mad. It was my first F in all of my years of studying. So after the school day was over, I went to Miss Garcia and I told her how unfair it was to expect me to study 10 times more than other students and still get an A. Miss Garcia's answer really surprised me. She said, "Other students don't want to be doctors. I'd rather have a doctor operating on me who got a B than an A by cheating. You can't cheat on the operating table, Anne." This was eye-opening for me. I was worried about my grades so much I forgot about actual learning and developing my skills. Since then, I have completely stopped cheating. Well, I still cheat sometimes when I'm too tired, but never on subjects important for my future job, like biology.